So I don't know how many of you read Howard Rheingold's book that came out in 1993 called The Virtual Community. He was working on the well, and this was before the internet even came along. He was up in Marin. But he said in the future there will be communities of interest that are linked together all over the world digitally instead of just the way we do it now in a more physical sense. And it was pretty bold back then, just based on the well, which was one of the only ones doing it. But then if you fast forward 2 decades to now, one of the guys that really made the internet go, Mark Andreessen, has developed a way to do your own Facebook, a service called Ning, and there's 300,000 Ning communities now around the world. They are communities, nurses, doctors, associations, businesses, people around books and so forth. And of those 300,000, we started noticing a number of them that are in the BK community. We said, this is very interesting, because these are communities. We're all about BK, a community dedicated to creating the world that works for all. And now these communities are just bubbling up themselves on their own regard. And what does a company then do to something like that? And it's interesting because these are communities where everyone has a voice. It's not hierarchical. It's more like a neural network, which is what this is, where any node on the network can communicate with anyone else in the network and the whole network, almost like a biological organism. So a very different social structure than would be seen on more typical organizations. So very interesting stuff going on. So then we started looking around. The first one we came across was the World Cafe, which we know of through Juanita Brown and David Isaacs, and Amy Lenzo, who's here doing video today, is one of the leaders of that movement as well. But if you take a look at what those look like, they're whole communities of, Amy, how many people are in the World Cafe?
In that community, about 2,000. 2,000
people are in this community right here, talking, conversing, working on ways to spread the World Cafe message throughout the world. And then we looked more and we said, here's another one, Otto Scharmer of Theory U. And here's his community. He's an MIT professor and he has people from all over the world. And look, here's all the people in the world who are actually in that community in conversation. We looked further and we saw one related to Alan Briskin's The Power of Collective Wisdom, one of his co-authors. Oh, sorry, I'm ahead of myself. I'll get to that in a minute. This is another one, Heartland Circle, which is Patricia and Craig Neal. We're doing a new book with them, Art of Convening, but they've done a lot of great work with a lot of our authors over the years, and they have their own community as well. And then the one I was just getting to was The Field, which is one of the brainchilds on that one is Cheryl Erickson, one of the co-authors of Power of Collective Wisdom. That's this one right here. And there you see her right there in speaking. And then moving through the neural network, we get to another one, Arbinger Community. And this one has 3,000 members. This is 2 of our big books, Anatomy of Peace and Leadership and Self-Deception. We found out just by looking at it this week they have a new video, which we're going to put on our site I didn't even know about. And right here is the Flash internet book product that I was talking about earlier that they have on that site as well. So that's a very big, thriving community. And based on all of that, we decided it was high time to create our own community, the Berrett-Koehler Community. And that's what I want to show here in the last 5 minutes is what is this thing? So I'm going to go into it. This was actually from a retreat last year. And basically what it is, it's a community that allows you as a member to sign in. There's about 100 and almost 200 members in this right now, where you can post events, You can say what's on your mind. You can host a conversation. You can put up images. You can put up videos. You can review books. Anything that has to do with the creating a world that works for all that you want to get out into the community is what this is all about. And on the left column here, it's mostly about, in addition to members, is events in the calendar. That's the left-hand column. And also we have that same poll up. On the middle is what is going on right now. This is where we had hoped to have the live video streaming, but we're going to put it up a little bit later. But all the blogging, the live blogging that's being done is right here by Jeevan. So if we go right into the middle of that, you'll see one of his last blogs. But the first thing you would do is just sign up as a member. So if I came in here and said, I want to know all the Steves on there, you'll probably be surprised.
Click the magnifying glass.
Oh, here it comes. That our self-professed Luddite, Steve, is actually on there as well. And he's got in there, and he's published his whole update to the 10 Awful Truths of Book Publishing, and he's in there talking and involved in other blogs as well. So it's very interesting what you can do. Just quickly, the kind of events that you could post in there. This is the shareholders meeting, a new author day coming up, the Abundant Community webinar coming up, the authors co-op retreat that's coming up this fall. You can post videos. You can post images. You can set up groups, and one of the most interesting groups, or 3 groups that I'll call out, is the Ask Jeeves group on everything you wanted to know about the publishing industry but we're afraid to ask. That's Ask Jeeves. Covers that Diane Plattner is hosting, and then also Creating a Country That Works for All that the Shokiers, Maren and Jamie, are doing. And that's a very interesting one because of all the stuff going on in the U.S. from right to left, and how do you converse in a civilized way as a citizen. So there's some very interesting conversations going on there as well. And just to call out a couple of things that are there for BK shareholders, if we go through these groups, there's 2 of them. One of them is the, let's see if I can find it here. The BK shareholders meeting documents. After this is over, here's where you can go to see the PowerPoint slides as well as other presentation materials that are available. And these will be available to everybody, not just to those in this room. And in addition to that, for the people that are attending live, if you go to this site, if you sign up and become a member and then go to this site, you'll get to this group, which is attendees group. And on this group right here, you can download 3 books. You can't see it right now because I'm not logged in as the person who could see them, but there's 3 books. There's The Abundant Community, Share This, and The Power of Purpose, which we have provided as PDFs. So those are the 3 books that everyone who's attending can get as PDFs, as together with the hardcover, or excuse me, the paperback of this one. And the last thing I wanted to say is kind of a closing statement. This is Maren Shokir's page, Jamie's business partner and wife, and all the things that she's doing on there. But the message I'd leave you with is that ebooks are really here to stay, and we're almost at the tipping point in terms of what ebooks will be doing for us as a book publishing industry in terms of how we think about print and ebook.